Now, a state of emergency has been declared in Sri Lanka following anti-government protests across the country. It comes amid a warning that the island nation could run out of food and fuel within a month, with the country asking the International Monetary Fund for a bailout. Paul Kelso reports now from the town of Rambukana, about 60 miles from Sri Lanka's capital, Colombo.
In the rice paddies of Rambukana, you can see the roots of Sri Lanka's food crisis. It's planting season here, but look, only a few square yards in the centre have been cultivated. The rest is untouched, last season's crop gone to seed, because farmers can't afford or even find fuel for tractors to turn the soil. Ravindra is still nursing this year's seedlings at home until he can begin cultivation, which may need to be by hand. He says the fuel shortage is compounding a disastrous government decision last year to ban chemical fertiliser imports. It was supposed to save money and protect Sri Lanka's dwindling foreign currency reserves, but the country's now paying a high price. What happens in these small paddies matters because they don't just feed families, they feed the whole country. But with yields down or perhaps cultivation not happening at all, farmers' livelihoods are threatened. There's less surplus to sell into the market. And in a year, the price of rice has trebled. Fuel shortages are hobbling the entire economy. They rush to fill up whenever and whatever they can here. Frustration at price rises sparked protests that had tragic consequences last month when police opened fire on a demonstration, killing one man and injuring at least a dozen more. Sri Alata's 15-year-old son Sarhan was among them, shot in the arm and body as he watched the protests after school. In Colombo's wholesale market, life goes on despite a state of emergency imposed this weekend by the president to suppress protests. And prices keep going up. Food price inflation has been dramatic and it's unavoidable for most. Leeks are up 30%, green chilies 40%, okra, lady's finger 50% and potatoes 60%, all in a year.
There's a risk on food shortages because of the high prices, and we even don't have reserves to import. And at the same time, the crops is expected to drop because of the fertilizer issue. For urban poor and urban community, of course, there's a challenge. I think the option is countries like China and India had assisted us with some food supplies.
That this verdant, abundant island should face food shortages may be the starkest measure of the trouble it's in. Paul Kelso, Sky News in Rambukana, Sri Lanka.